The Bosphorus Cup is something unique.
If you want to test yourself and your limits, this is the best opportunity.
The race in the Bosphorus, it's incredible. There is no regatta like that.
It has been more than 20 years since a unique sailing event was established in the heart of Istanbul, and since then it has become a reference point for the world's sailing scene. The Bosphorus Cup returned in 2024 for its 23rd edition, once again proving why this regatta is so special. What started as a vision to create Turkey's premier yachting event has now become an institution, drawing many of the same sailors back year after year, not just because of the strength of the competition, but also due to the stunning surroundings.
Hello, welcome to the Bosphorus Cup. This is the 23rd edition. We are organizing this beautiful race since 2002 in Istanbul on the Bosphorus between two continents. And we are really proud to have 95 boats, more than 1,000 sailors for this edition. Sailing in Istanbul is super unique because it's a huge city with amazing hospitality opportunities and amazing architecture, very good wind and currents. The Bosphorus is really unique. This year is the year for the Theatre of Winds, our new concept. We are presenting the winds of Istanbul to our guests and to millions of Istanbulites, and also to our international guests. Bosphorus Cup is destined to be one of the top sports events in the world.
Istanbul, the bustling metropolis of Turkey, is a city full of charm where the past goes hand in hand with the present. At the crossroads of the two continents, Europe and Asia, this spectacular city has absorbed the best of both worlds, and its beautiful historic landmarks, distinctive cuisine, and labyrinths of marketplaces and shopping arcades. Just 16.5 nautical miles long and less than half a nautical mile wide at its narrowest point, the Bosphorus Strait is the dividing line between the east of Europe and the west of Asia. Across the centuries, this vital stretch of water has been considered one of the most important in the world for trade and for connecting east with west.
This is my third Bosphorus Cup, and I think to have a prestigious sailing event on our seas is a very honoring thing, and to see foreign boats from neighboring countries, to see the fleet getting bigger every year is a very promising thing, and as a part of the host country, it's a privilege.
The race in the Bosphorus, it's incredible. There is no regatta like that in other place. The landscape is very amazing.
For our team, it's second time we're here, and for us it's a very interesting regatta because we have a lot of regatta in Marmaris, Bodrum area, but not here. And Bosphorus is very, very interesting for sailor because wind is changed and current in Bosphorus. It's very, very strong and very different.
With the level of interest for the Bosphorus Cup being really high around the world and even more in Turkey, the 2024's racing days would be broadcast live on TV. The first around the Cannes races would take place off Quai de Boston, while the second day would see the fleet take part in the Bosphorus race as sailors take on the mighty strait, spanned by 3 spectacular suspension bridges. On Sunday, it would return to Quai de Boston to complete the series of races and determine the overall winner of the Bosphorus Cup 2024. The racing schedule would have it all, a diverse mix of racecourse from technical windward-leeward races to sailing in the tight strait of Bosphorus with strong current and coastal courses rounding islands that always present their own challenges. For this 23rd edition, with the big fleet of racing and cruising yachts ranging between 20 and 86 foot. Topping the bill were 2 Greek entries, Volvo Ocean 70 Aeolos, owned by George Prokopiou, and Meliti, a Garcia 86, owned by Stratis Andreadis.
We are very happy to be here in this fantastic organized regatta. We came from Greece, we are on the boat Aeolos, and I am the skipper, and we have a total of 17 crew. It is a great for us opportunity to be here in this area because the seas are uniting the nations, uniting the various cultures, and is the bridge of friendship.
It is the biggest avenue that connects the people.
We can't wait to race here in Bosphorus. For us, for the boat we are sailing, it's a VO70, a very fast boat, very complicated boat. So windward-leeward and racing inside Bosphorus channel will be very demanding and challenging for us. We hope that we can manage first to finish safely the race and then maybe with a good result.
The opening day of action started with a windward-leeward race before concluding at night with a coastal one. Aeolos set a fearsome pace on day 1 of the Bosphorus Cup 2024, taking line honours in the opening races. Meliti was also strong in the windward-leeward race, but Arcus Blue Moon caught the breeze, getting on the plane and flying along towards the bottom of the course, eventually overtaking her.
It was a long day, as you said. First race was abandoned, which was like right thing to do. Massive wind shift. Second race was long as well. And then they started a long coastal late in the day, so we arrived still in the night with all our navigation lights on. So, but the scenery was epic. I mean, going around the islands was really cool. In between the islands, now it was the scenery here is epic with a massive city in the background. It's a super cool place to be.
Bosphorus race always is unique because the course is very nice places. I always compare the course. You know, this is the Formula One, is it the Ferrari, this is Monza, it is if you compare to the Istanbul Bosphorus race, it's sailing life, which is great.
Among the participants was Levent Peynerchi, a 6-time Bosphorus Cup winner who's always keen to return for the regatta, as are most of the Turkish sailors.
I think every year Bosphorus Cup getting better and better. It's really good to race in Bosphorus, and we have like 6 races in 3 days. So Istanbul is really a good city. So I would really recommend this race to all the sailors in Europe.
Bosphorus is a unique place because it's a connection between Asia and Europe. A beautiful site, full of history. But as in sailing conditions, it's a bit tricky because of the currents of the sea, of the Bosphorus. And regarding to the weather, angles and the current, if you don't get it right, it's impossible to recover. So I think it's a challenging but very exciting venue to race.
You know, we are regularly also joining to this regatta because this also we are Nissan team. Nissan also this is one of the sponsor of this Bosphorus race. You know, it's Bosphorus is getting traditional race and getting more attention from all over the world. That's why we are always to be part of this race.
Heading back to action, the day everyone was most looking forward to was the second one, the day of the Bosphorus race. The organisers shut down Bosphorus traffic for 5 hours, allowing sailboats full control of the waters and giving spectators the opportunity to view the race from key vantage points.
Today it's the big day, it's very technical. The start probably is with downwind, so we need to put the kite first. It's very hard to start like that. And at the beginning of the day there is slight wind probably, and with the big currents it's very hard. So for us, we look how's the leader of the fleet do, and we try to do the same.
This is the day why we're all here for. Sailing on the Bosphorus is very special. I was lucky enough to do it 3 years ago and it was epic. And competition here is great. I mean, the sailing is really, you can feel the atmosphere here and people like the sailing here in Turkey. We've got some good boats on the lines. I mean, yeah, no, it's good competition.
Orient Express 6 may not have been the biggest boat at the regatta, but it was the fastest.
Zeynep and Aysi Atabey's Far 55 sailed a tactically strong Bosphorus race, the showpiece event on the middle day of the Bosphorus Cup in Istanbul.
It was as though the wind gods themselves were watching the race. All 6 different winds made an appearance during the afternoon's 2-hour race. With strong currents, rain squalls, big gusts and patches of light wind, the 95 boats were constantly tested throughout the Bosphorus Strait.
The race was very interesting and very challenging. Current, shifts of wind, everything, but very funny.
It has been a fantastic experience for all of us coming from Dubai. We had the day of the Bosphorus channel. We have rain, we have wind, we have everything, and it was really exciting to be able to cross the channel and have such a beautiful landscape, so historical, crossroads of civilizations. For us was really unique.
The Bosphorus Cup is a good opportunity for companies and sponsors to have a local and international exposure, and also to win a Bosphorus Cup is, I think, becoming more and more important as in global arena. So I think being a part of the race was important for us.
Meanwhile, on shore, Hundreds of guests, including VIPs and celebrities, were enjoying the yacht race from the grounds of the Saragan Palace Kempinski, a lavish 5-star hotel. Reflecting the theme of the Theatre of Winds, 6 dancers, each representing a different wind of the Bosphorus, entertained guests with their interpretation of how wild and varied the wind can be in Turkey's greatest city. With a variety of boats in the Bosphorus Cup fleet, many different tactics and strategies were employed. Bigger boats needed to follow a different approach compared to the smaller ones, but the skill level of the sailors ensured top-notch performances across the board.
Aiolos is from the 3rd generation of what we call the Volvo 70 that happened during 3 Volvo Ocean race, and the last one was in 2012. The original name was Puma, and it raced the Volvo Ocean race. It finished 3rd, and this class of boat, they were really designed for down the ocean and around the world, so very tough built, and also designed for heavy conditions, which the property of the boat is really to go really fast in any conditions, maybe a little less agile than some other boats, especially around the marks. But we will be careful, of course. We may be slow on some maneuvers because it's a big challenge for the crew. It's a very powerful boat. It has a canting keel and it has daggerboard, asymmetrical daggerboard. So this is a lot of things to maneuvers for the crew.
Any sport and racing requires a good teamwork, and especially on a boat like this, as the team have progressed through all their boats, the crew have changed, but making sure that the communication across the boat and the dynamic with the team is incredibly important for boat speed and making sure we win the races. So these guys on this boat, we've done a lot of training to make sure that they're ready for this, and so really having a good teamwork, a good team, and like you say, the family side of it, means that everybody communicates well, and if there's a problem, they all work together to fix the problem. And these guys have been together for quite a while now and are very good at sailing together.
I'm owning this boat since last 7 years. As you might know, 540 is a very big fleet in the world. Recently, it's not that much famous maybe, but still in the light and medium wind ranges, it is one of the most advantageable boats. Due to the weight of it, it's approximately 4.7 tons and likes the light and medium range winds a lot. In addition to this, Turkish waters, which is not too wavy, it's a very good condition for a 540 boat.
Another exciting day of action awaited the 95 boats on the final day, giving them a chance to showcase their dynamics and test the crew's sailing skills. The wind was blowing at 9 to 10 knots around midday, but built up to 17 knots later in the afternoon. Principal Race Officer Nino Shimeli sent the 95 boat fleet into a 2-lap windward leeward race, with Aiolos and the Arcus sailing team shining once again, the latter finishing first, while Meliti remained in the mix as always. Throughout the event, Bosphorus's beauty was highlighted and the area delivered until the very last minute. The final coastal race was around Prince's Islands, made up of 9 small, mostly car-free islands reminiscent of a time gone by. The coastal course would enable ocean-going thoroughbreds like Aeolus and Meliti to stretch their sea legs. Through the twists and turns past the idyllic Marmaran Islands of Burgas, Kasik and Heybeli, a duel ensued between George Prokopiou's Aeolus and the Arcus TP52. However, on the final windward pushback to the finish in Kadikoy, the canting-keeled power of the VO70 was too mighty to resist, and the Greeks on Aeolus sailed away to an easy line honours victory. Big cheers rang out of the TP52 Arcus sailing team Blue Moon when the Turkish team crossed the finishing line in second. Altay's crew knew that they had done enough to secure overall victory on corrected time. The winners had been pushed hard by early series leaders Timofey Zabankov's JPK 11.8 Roscoe Racer, who had sailed beautifully in the lighter breeze of the first day, but didn't quite have the horsepower to match the bigger boats in the bigger breeze. Roscoe Racer were second overall, with former winners Coca-Cola Isiek, Das Astrik racing their Far 40 to third place overall.
After 3 racing days, finally we won the race. It was really hard to race in that fleet, and racing in Istanbul is really tough because wind was always, shifty, gusty, and the other participants and also are really good.
On the first day we had some trouble with our rigging system, so we couldn't race that day. But second day we were ready for the Bosphorus race, and the current, the weather, the wind, they were all so changeable. So we tried to keep with that. It was a nice experience, and today we had 2 races, and we all tried to get closer to the Far 40s, but it was hard, challengeable, but it was also very enjoyable.
This is our first year as a team to participate in this race, but I participate maybe 20 times from the beginning. And this year was a good race. We participate all of the races and have a good result, I think, for the first year with this boat. And it was a good wind, good competitors from around the world. And I think we had the good result.
What made the reward for the sailors' efforts even more special was the fact that they received the trophies on the water, their true second home, where they're spending many hours year in, year out. The after-race party at the Setur Kalamis Marina was a great opportunity for many people to feel more connected with the maritime history and culture of Istanbul. With posters, banners and billboards all around this city of 50 million inhabitants, the Bosphorus Cup is the greatest opportunity to connect more people with the beautiful sport of sailing.
This year's trophy is dedicated to Mr. Fatih Gorgon.
The 23rd edition of the Bosphorus Cup showcased that the event still is getting stronger. The fleet was at its peak, and the challenging weather conditions tested everyone in a unique location. Everyone is already looking forward to the editions to follow.